Have you ever just looked at all the stuff we're surrounded by and felt, well, like something's missing? That we've lost some kind of real, genuine connection to the things we own? Well, today, we're going to dig into why that is, how we lost our knack for seeing true beauty, and, most importantly, how we can get it back. Just by learning to see with our hearts. Okay, let's just dive right in by looking at this huge shift. You know, back in the day, our relationship with objects was, well, it was personal. Things were made by people with actual skills, from natural stuff, and we picked them because they felt right, because they fit into our lives. Fast forward to today, and we're just swimming in a sea of mass-produced goods. And what guides our choices? A brand name or a price tag. That real personal connection, it's pretty much gone. And this really brings us to the core of the problem, right? We are living in a world of identical things, a world of sameness. I mean, think about it. So many things today are made with one goal in mind, keeping costs low. It's about efficiency, not character. It's about standards, not soul. And when everything is uniform, that little spark of genuine beauty, that personal connection, it just gets harder and harder to find in our daily lives. But here's the thing. It wasn't always like this. The source material reminds us of a time when beauty wasn't some rare thing you had to hunt down in a museum. It was just there. It was a natural part of everyday life. Craftspeople made beautiful things, and we just kind of instinctively knew which ones were right for us. So that's the big question, isn't it? What on earth happened? If this was once so natural for us, how did we manage to forget how to do it? What actually rewired our brains so completely? So how did we get here? Well, it turns out this wasn't some random accident. It was a very specific shift, where little by little, we started handing over our own judgment to other people and other forces. We basically outsourced our own taste. And this timeline just lays it out perfectly. You see, we started out valuing an object for what it was, how it felt in our hands, how well it worked. Then, with the Industrial Revolution, machines came along and started changing the game. And that brings us to now, the modern era, where the value is all about external labels. The brand name, the country it was made in, the fancy store that's selling it. Suddenly, that stuff became way more important than the thing itself. You can actually break this down into 4 simple steps. It all started with our own hands, our own intuition. Step 2, the machines arrive and bring all these new ideas about what value means. Step 3, names and brands start to mean more than actual quality. And finally, step 4, we get to the point where we just let the stores and the marketers tell us what's good. We completely gave away our power to choose. And this is the crucial part. We started trusting the packaging more than the product. You could have the exact same handmade bowl, and if it's in a fancy gallery with a little plaque next to it, we think it's priceless. But if it's on a blanket at a street market, we might not even look twice. We let the story being told about the object decide its value, instead of our own experience with it. Okay, so if value isn't really in the brand or the price tag, where is it? Where does it actually live? Well, the source material gives us a really beautiful and clear answer. It's time for a little re-education in how to see. I want you to think of true value, like a recipe that has 3 essential ingredients. First, you start with the raw gifts from nature. You know, the clay from the earth, the fibers for a textile. Then, that's transformed by the second ingredient, the incredible, irreplaceable skill and talent of an artisan. But the final, and maybe most important ingredient, well, that's you. And this right here is such a fantastic concept, tawaza. It's a Japanese word that means so much more than just skill. It's the unique talent, the special feel, the actual soul that a craftsperson pours into their work through their hands. It's that human touch. You know, the one thing that no machine, no matter how advanced, can ever replicate. Right, because an object's value isn't fully unlocked until it's actually used and loved and woven into the fabric of a life. A beautiful cup sitting on a collector's shelf, it's just an object. But that same cup, used every single day for your morning coffee, now it's part of your story. Its value gets deeper with every use. You are the one who completes the circle. And this is a really powerful, maybe even kind of a tough idea to swallow. The source argues that the problem isn't with the makers. Artisans are just as skilled as they've ever been. The real problem is us, the buyers. Our ability to see, to appreciate, and to understand real value has been worn down. We chose convenience over connection. So, that brings us to the final and, honestly, the most important part,
the solution. If we're the problem, that means we also get to be the solution. So how do we get this ability back? How do we learn to truly see again?
The very first step is just making a conscious decision. It's like a quiet little revolution you start inside yourself against all the noise from marketing and social media. It's about deciding right now to be your own expert on what's beautiful and valuable in your own life. And this is about so much more than just shopping. It's about building trust in yourself. It's about developing the confidence to say, you know what, I like this, not because some influencer told me to, but because it actually speaks to me. And this isn't something you're born with. It's a skill. It's a muscle we can all build back up. So what does that actually look like? It means the next time you see something, ignore the little card next to it that explains its history. Just look. Really look. Pick it up if you can. Feel its weight. And then ask yourself one simple, personal question. Does this feel right for my life? Does this suit me? It's a shift from your head to your gut. Ultimately, the goal is to just tune out all that external noise, the brand, the price, what you think other people will think about it. It's about clearing your mind of all that chatter and just connecting with an object on a simple human emotional level, to look not just with your eyes, but to truly see with your heart. And so let's just end on this thought. This power to see and to choose, it was never really lost. We just let someone else borrow it for a while. And you can take it back anytime you want, starting today. So I'll just leave you with this question. What beauty will you choose to see?